Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel, Simply Together. We promised you a more detailed response and video of the whole house buying process and I guess a bit more information about the house as well. So here we are.
Yep, so we decided to buy a house after uni because we were already living with our parents. So we've been together for 7.5 years and we are engaged, but we were living with our parents still because of money. Like we were both at uni.
Saving up, yeah, just
and
finished
we
uni.
both went to uni in London where our parents live. So it just made sense to stay there, and after uni we decided to stay there for another year and to use that year to save up money to buy a house.
Well, and get a job as well, to be fair.
Get a job.
Just finish uni.
There was a lot of pressure, to be honest, like get a job.
Just basically
save
have
for
your
a
life
house.
sorted out right after uni, pretty much.
Yeah, and I think having that safety net of living with our parents definitely made it easier.
Yeah.
So we could have chose to move out and
Well,
rent.
we could have been renting this whole time and, you know, this
Have no
video wouldn't
savings.
exist. Yeah, and have no savings, but...
And it would have been fun, because I could definitely say that, like, obviously, when you're in a long-term serious relationship, living with your parents isn't the most fun. And it's definitely a bit difficult.
Especially with COVID too, and restrictions.
Yeah, that definitely made it harder.
Yeah.
But that also helped with savings. That was good.
But it kind of worked out, like, you'd be paying the same amount in rent, or even more, as you would, like, paying our mortgage rates and stuff. What you say?
Oh, I was talking about saving.
Okay. So yeah, it worked out kind of the same. So it's just like, if we could save up enough money for a deposit, then, you know, our cost of living would pretty much be the same. Well, not in London, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, yeah, I guess the whole process from day one. So we started viewing houses when, like, September? August?
Well, first of all, we started saving money in...
I guess that's first step, yeah.
First, once we decided that we'd wanted to buy a house and aim to do that, we kind of set ourselves a deadline of a year to save up for the deposit. So we started saving in October 2019. That was kind of when we first... Well, that's basically when we both got full-time jobs after uni.
Yeah.
So that was just, when we could start saving for it.
Literally, so all of that kind of went into our savings, living at home with our parents.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And so no holidays for a year, less eating out and stuff like that. We tried to be good. And things being closed because of COVID definitely helped because there was no temptation or anything like that.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to pay on like commuting, which was good.
Yeah, that's true.
But obviously it made things a lot harder in other aspects. We kind of knew what our budget would be roughly, so obviously there's a limit to how much you can
more like borrow, loan.
You can borrow
in terms of a mortgage.
Yeah, based on like your salary. So it's basically your salary times 4.5, which is how much you can borrow, and then we also just kind of figured out how much we could save up in a year, and based our house budget on that. So it ended up being like our budget started off being around 240,000.
Yep.
Ranging up to 270,000 if like we saved up more, but that was more on the higher end. But the average was like 250,000 for a house.
Yep.
And the goal for the deposit was 25,000, so 10% deposit.
That's a lot of money, man. When it leaves your account, it's a very sad moment.
So we both opened up LISA accounts, which is a lifetime ISA, which can be used for saving to buy your first house or for your pension. You can do both. So we used it to buy a house. And there's a cap of £4,000 a year that you can put in, and you get 25% bonus from the government on top of what you've put in there in that year. So
we both put in... So we were lucky that it crossed over financial years, so we were able to put in 8,000 each in total, and we got an extra 2,000 each. So we both had 10,000 in our license at the end of the day.
Yeah, so that's 20,000, and so basically we got £4,000 just from the license.
Yeah,
which
for
is
free,
really
for saving
good.
anyway, which is really good.
When your deposit is 25%.
Excuse me.
So we would definitely recommend.
Yes, if you're in the UK, sign up.
And you can sign up even, like I was telling my sister, you can sign up from when you're 18 years old, even if you put in like £50 or £100 a year even, like you can still get £25 for nothing.
Exactly.
It'll just stay there.
And like when you think about it, £4,000 a year is quite like a I don't want to say little, but like if you got a part-time job or something.
If you're saving for something, then that's
good.
like a manageable amount to put in every year. If you're trying to save for a house.
Yeah, and it's good. Why Reading? I think we kind of said that in our first video, how it was a good sort of middle place between our workplaces in Bristol and London. And I think it's just good for future work prospects as well. And I'm really happy with where we've ended up.
Yeah, we've actually never been to Reading before until we decided to buy a house here and then we started to go to viewings.
Yeah.
I think when you're buying a house for the first time and you need to be close to London, you kind of have limited options anyway, so it's kind of going either like the Essex way,
literally where you can afford,
which would actually been easier for me to commute into work, but it would have made it kind of impossible for Thomas.
Literally like the other side of like London, all the way to the other side of the UK.
Yeah. And then also like Luton area, which was okay as well, but kind of same thing, like it would have been long to travel to Bristol, so Reading was like the most west option for us. And it had quite a few options for us in our price range, which kind of varies. Sometimes there was like literally like 3 houses available to view, and then other times we'd be luckier.
Nothing,
It was a bit annoying actually when we did start to look at houses. Like, well, I was looking at houses throughout the whole year of saving just to give me motivation and just to get to know the market and what kind of prices to expect and what kind of quality of houses.
Gabriele did most of the research.
And obviously, like, I think when COVID hit, especially like during May, like houses started to come a lot cheaper and there was a lot more options, but we just weren't ready. Like, we didn't have a deposit saved up or anything. So it was a bit frustrating because obviously you're seeing houses that you can afford.
And then I was kind of waiting for like promotion as well, which kind of delayed it a little bit further to see if we could afford. Could afford a nicer house, because obviously the loan you get is greater. Yeah, so I think in normal times it would actually be easier to get a mortgage, but because of COVID, a lot of lenders were a lot stricter with the criteria. So kind of had to prove you were financially stable and had like a decent amount of deposit, sort of thing.
Yeah, so I think the minimum deposit was 15,000 for a lot of mortgages, which we didn't have, and we didn't want to wait any longer. Well, obviously if we had to we would have, but ideally we just wanted to stick to 10,000 because that was manageable for us.
So like you're saying basically it's normally like 5% deposit.
Yeah, so actually like in normal times you'd actually usually be able to get one for 5%. And we basically got told that we wouldn't be able to buy a £250,000 house with the salary and deposit that we were on. Which was very demotivating, because to be honest, buying a house under £250,000,
they weren't the greatest.
It was
and it limited our options.
We wanted 2 bedrooms and that was pretty much impossible. And for it to be within like commutable distance to London, that was hard as well. So it was very demotivating when we were told that. But then Thomas had a promotion hopefully coming up. So he was in the process of like applying for a promotion. I don't know.
That was long too. So it just made us like have to wait a bit more. Because I think my company's good with promotions, but it was just a bit of a lengthy process from the time of like going for promotion and then like actually receiving like a formal letter saying like this would be your new salary sort of thing. So I think that literally delayed it by like maybe 2 months.
Yeah, I mean we were still saving for our deposit, so it wasn't too bad.
But it's like we saw some houses that we really liked. And that like we kind of really wanted to. I don't know if we really wanted to get them, but. You know, we were willing to try and make offers, but then we kind of just like, let's just wait and see if we can get something better. Yeah,
and I think we wanted to make sure that we were kind of guaranteed the mortgage and not just like get denied once you've applied. So then it was really great when Thomas got a promotion and a salary increase, because that really helped us to secure a £250,000 house.
And then so I guess the overall process from when we actually put our offer in, I remember it was like a Monday or something, I can't remember the exact date, but how long did the overall process take? Like 3-4 months, I think.
Well, we put in the offer in October, like the 24th of October,
and moved in February.
It was quite long.
Process,
but
I remember at the start.
I think that's kind of like the average time that people say it takes. But when you're a first time buyer, you're like, no, it won't take that long. I'm sure it'll be quicker than that. And I'm sure it is quicker for some people, but...
Yeah, everyone was actually telling us it's going to take like 3-4 months. We were like, oh, maybe it'll be like only 2 for us, you know. And sadly not.
Yeah, the mortgage process was actually quite simple in my opinion. I think a lot of people make it out to be very scary and complicated. I think there's a lot of like news articles or guides saying how complicated it is and how you won't get it, etc. And I'm sure it is hard.
But it wasn't for us.
It wasn't for us, so I can't say that it was, because we used a broker which was free. It was London and Country, I think, brokers.
They don't sponsor
and it's just
this video.
online. So it was super easy. You literally just did everything online. You spoke to everyone online. You uploaded all of your documents, like supporting your, like showing your income. Or
Yeah, then we have like a webcam session for like 5 minutes where you just put your webcam on, they look at your face, be like, yep, that's...
Well, that was like to ID you, to prove
like,
that you're a
I'm
real
Thomas.
person.
It's like, thank you.
Yeah, so it was so simple. They literally just message you asking for whatever they need, you send it to them.
Yeah.
And it's super quick. It was really, that was actually like the easy part in my opinion. It was great to finally get accepted for the mortgage, and that was done.
Like, no,
we had a bit of trouble. The only trouble we had was with my signature. So you had to upload, like, obviously signing some forms. And my form got rejected like 3 times because my signature didn't match my passport.
Hers is literally just a squiggle, but the squiggle wasn't squiggly enough.
It wasn't the same apparently. But it's not fair in my opinion, because I made my passport signature when I was like 14 or 15. Like, it's obviously changed since then.
Yeah, she's changed her signature and been using like, so on her driver's license it's different to your passport, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were both different.
You've just
so
been
it was,
using
it was a bit frustrating, but we got there in the end.
Yeah. And then the solicitors, Gabrielle found amazing solicitors as well, which made the process quite easy.
Yeah, Bishopsgate.
Yeah, recommend them very highly. They're really good. Like, we had good comms with them. We literally had no problems with them at all. The only problems came with the people we were buying from, solicitors, and just the people we were buying from. I hope you're not watching this video, but...
No, I think it's just because it was an onward chain, which means that you're buying a property from someone who's buying another property, and so on and so on. So there's a lot of like links to everything that has to like line up correctly for it to work out. And I think when there's some like miscommunication between any part,
well, they had loads of miscommunication. They did. They didn't know what was going on.
It was like, okay, it was a couple of times they didn't know what was going on, but they weren't too bad.
No, they weren't too bad at the start, but towards the end, they didn't know what was going on. They kept on like trying to blame our solicitors for things and saying like well, why haven't we received money and blah blah blah, and like, oh, apparently like we're stuck at this stage because of you guys and your solicitors, and we're like literally have to call up the solicitors, or like we'd email them and be like, oh, actually no, it's because their solicitors haven't done X, Y, and Z. But rant over.
It wasn't. I don't think it was that bad, but it
was just annoying.
It was frustrating in the moment.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was just annoying. It's like someone that comes up to you, is like, "Oh, we can't move on because of you," and it's like, we find out it's not because of us, it's because of them. But they just haven't spoke to their solicitors.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Oh well.
And then so the house, I think it's a decent size. We've got a nice garden and stuff as well.
Yeah, so I think it's like 59 square meter footage.
Yeah. What, the garden or the whole house?
No, the house.
Okay.
Not including the garden. I don't know how big the garden is.
No, it's alright. It's a nice size. I like it.
And it's because it's like a terraced house. It's got quite an old-fashioned layout. So it's not open plan at all. It's quite the complete opposite of open plan. We've got basically downstairs. We've got a small front room, then another room, and then a kitchen, a galley kitchen, and then a bathroom, all in like the same kind of lengthways.
Yeah, just like all like long.
Just going straight down. And then upstairs it's just the stairs and 2 rooms.
Yeah.
There's not a hallway or anything.
Yeah.
So it's quite small, I say, but it's definitely enough for us.
The 2 of us is fine.
And we didn't really expect to get anything bigger or want to, like...
No, literally.
It's just like our first house.
It's our first house, and it's still, it's literally a great first house.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't even know what we're going to do with all the space as it is.
I don't know. We're literally removing chimney breasts and getting more space for the rooms, which is great, but it's just like... Mate, we've been living just out of like 2 rooms at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we still... Oh, yeah.
Like, we haven't used the upstairs.
Well, even before moving in, like, we used to just have a bedroom each at our parents' house.
Yeah, literally just
so
stayed
now
in
we
my
have like
bedroom
a whole
all day.
house.
Yeah. But because of building work and stuff, like literally we've just got like the office room, our bedroom is in the other sort of like living room, and then we have the kitchen, and we've just been using that. We still have 2 rooms upstairs that are just like full of stuff because of all the demolishing going on. But so what are we gonna do with that? What it's crazy. Gonna have a living room and stuff, and it's great.
So we actually got our keys 5th of February. That was when everything was sorted, and we were actually quite surprised at that point because we kind of thought it would be March, but like we weren't sure how long it was going to take because there was like how Thomas said some delays and miscommunications. We were kind of prepared for. I think
the dates kept getting shifted, like saying, "Oh, maybe February." It's like, nah, probably March, and then it's just like, "Oh, we might be able to do it sooner."
Yeah, and then suddenly it was like, "Oh, we can do it like
tomorrow
in February," and then so that was really exciting. Like it was really cool finding out the actual date of us moving in.
Yeah, it didn't feel real. It still kind of doesn't feel real, to be honest. Like, it's crazy. I think when the whole house is fully renovated and we have all our decorations as well, it's going to be such a weird feeling. Like this is our house, and hopefully it will look beautiful by then.
Yeah, hopefully.
And it'll be like our little baby, and
Yeah. So when we first got our keys, we weren't sure if we were going to move in straight away or not, because obviously we didn't have to move out. We weren't like renting where you have to move your stuff out and you have to be out by a certain date. So we were thinking maybe we could stay a bit longer and renovate before we moved in, but then we weren't really sure on the timelines of that, so we just decided to move in.
I think COVID made it easy to live out as well.
Yeah, obviously because we were different households, we weren't allowed to see each other, which made it very difficult.
So we have a house now.
So then we definitely wanted to move out ASAP.
Yeah.
And so then we moved in with all of our stuff, and it was quite hectic at first.
It was a lot of car trips. Like Gabrielle's got a small car.
Yeah.
Toyota Aygo, and my car's terrible, and I don't drive that anymore. But so a lot of trips in the little Aygo to and from to bring our stuff, which was good.
Yeah, but we don't actually have that much stuff, so.
No, like I said, we were both just living out of
It's
the
not
bedroom.
like we had any furniture to bring with us or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just clothes.
Moved into like a shell of a house, Okay.
So that's a bit about our process of buying the house. Obviously, like there's a lot more detail in between. I don't know if we would do more videos like on the individual parts or like a more detailed.
Yeah. Well, if you've got any questions or anything, if you've got any questions, let us know in the comments. If you want to see more of this sort of stuff or detailed stuff, maybe we'll do a video on it.
Yeah. But so looking forward to showing you the progress of our house.
And looking forward to all the renovations being done and being able to spend our first summer in Reading, in our first, hopefully, completely finished house. I don't know, by summer probably. Hopefully. Our furniture's coming in May.
Yeah.
So hopefully by then, some furniture, But it's been Thomas and Gabriele, Simply Together. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, let us know in the comments if you want more sort of videos like this, and we'll keep you updated with our progress and see you in the next video.
Bye.
So, adios. We promised you another video detailed on the whole house buying process. We did.
Okay.
in the introduction video. She whispered, "Did we?" if you didn't hear that.
No, I'll just start again.
And here we are. Just carry on.
Just start again. We weren't planning to buy a house that soon as we did, but no, we weren't. Not initially, we weren't because.
Wait a minute, what? This is news to me.
Okay, fine. Whatever. Start again.
I want to sign off adios. I don't know why.